Alright, hello everyone. We're going to do a quick tutorial on Quick Rig. We hope. Alright, so I'm going to start with a very simple character. We're going to go ahead and create a gingerbread man, or something closely approximating a gingerbread man. So I'm going to go into my attribute editor. I'm going to give this a radius more of like 4. 1.5 is fine, and we can leave that at 20 for the subdivisions. We do want to rotate that up, and we're going to start this out as being the head. Wrong axis. Okay, we've got that. And for what we want to do, we're going to want the face of our gingerbread man to be facing down, the z-axis, which we have right here. So I'm going to rotate him again. Just going to pull him around and make that 90 is fine. And pull that up. So this is a really dumb model. We wouldn't really do this for most games unless you're doing something cute and stylized. This is a start. Okay. Open up my modeling toolkit, which I can get to here. It's already over here for me. I'm going to turn on my symmetry. See if that's the right axis. Yep, that's what I want. Just grab 2. We're going to start extruding and doing some cool stuff. Just going to pull that out. That gives us a neck. Come out a little bit more. And then I'm going to want to flare this out by using the scale. And here's where we're going to start the arms from. And now I'll extrude some more. Now, word of warning, we're definitely going to be messing this up on purpose before we do it right, just to kind of show. And then one more extrude with the legs. But I do want to make sure in this dialog box I say keep faces together off. And then we have that split. There we go. And we have a very rough gingerbread man, or, the sign on a bathroom stall, bathroom door. Alright, so let me go to object mode. We've got this rough character. He really doesn't have enough geometry, and we'll show why here in just a sec. So we're going to pull him up where he's kind of standing on the grid. We've already got him facing down, not that it matters right now, he's the same on both sides, but he's facing down the Z arrow axis. Very important. So if you've got him flipped the other way, then auto rig will not work. Okay, so we've got our rough character, and just to be sure, I'm going to go ahead and delete all the history on him. So now he's reset. And I'm going to come over here to rigging. And now in Maya 2018, our quick rig is right here in the toolbar. Slap that button. I'm going to use the one click for now, and I'll just hit auto rig. We wait, we pray. Now, to our minds that are used to cartoons and gingerbread men in the movie Shrek, this looks very humanoid. Maya might be having a hard time with it, though. This is terrible. This should have worked by now. And I didn't save. Lesson 1, always save. That might mean we're broken. There it goes. See? Don't freak out too soon. Okay. Now, because the Maya auto rig could not quite identify this as human, this skeleton is messed up. So I'm going to turn that off. All right. So we pull up our IK tool over here, and really we shouldn't touch the bones. We should just be messing with the controller objects. And so each of these dots represents that. So there's his waist, which for our stylized character is like halfway up his torso. The knees are about where we'd expect the waist to be. Feet are down there, with the tips of the toes even further down. And then the arms, this could go a lot of different ways. I've seen where the shoulders start up here in the head and they kind of come down. Here they didn't even identify these as arms. So we've got arm bones coming down inside the torso. So there's the shoulder, elbow, and the wrist. Just awful. And we can move these controllers around. Let me grab the waist. This is a great test of any rig, even bad ones like this. So you go up, and he comes down. And see, the knees didn't even lock in on this guy. So, as I said, we deliberately did this wrong to show what not to do. And just as an FYI, if you hit that auto rig button and nothing happened, your character was probably facing the wrong way. So he's got to be facing down the Z-axis. So I'm going to go ahead and stop this and add some geometry to this gingerbread man, and we'll try it again. Okay, I've saved my file this time, which is always a good thing. I've got my project set up. I've got my gingerbread 2018, and I managed to delete all of the bones and other things, and now we're going to try and fix this guy up so he rigs better. So first thing I want to do is pull him up, and I think we could just add some cuts and make him look more human, but I'm also going to extend his arms and legs a little bit, just so as not to confuse Maya too badly. Alright, so I'm going to go back to face mode. That's probably a good spot for the knees to start. Pull those down. Now he looks like a cowboy. That's fun. Do another extrude. So that'll be kind of his ankles. Pull the arms out more. And then pull them down some. So I'll get him a little bit more of a T pose instead of the Y. Kind of like that. Give him something a little more closely approximating hands. Thumbs and all. And finally I'm going to add some more edge loops for his elbows and wrists and everything to fold around. Because right now these faces will maintain their shape, so we don't want him to look like he's made of cardboard, even if he kind of looks like that. But we don't want him to animate that way. So here we go. I'm going to come up here to Mesh Tools and insert Edge Loop. Start adding in some cuts. A few cuts along the waist and the knees. Maybe one more on the neck. That's probably good. Again, this is going to be perfect, but we're going to get a little bit better result out of auto rig. So, object mode, not UV, object. Let me go ahead and kill that history again. Save it this time. And try it again. Cross your fingers. Needs to be in object mode. Let me make sure I've got that loop addition turned off. Try it again. The waiting is always the hard part. So one thing to note, when I first tried the auto rig, it threw up a dialog asking about deleting a control rig or a control something. I think that was left over from the original attempt just a few minutes ago. There we go, binding skin, and we got closer, but the arms still didn't take. So you can come in here and select all the pieces. I find it much better to freeze those as far as selection inside the view and just use them here. So let's try that squat again. Oh my. So it does help to turn those forward, the knees just a little bit so that we don't get bow-legged like we did here. That's the way the knees bend now. But we got to start. So I'm going to try this one more time. I'm going to bend the knees forward a little bit. And then I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here to poly modeling and we'll try this thing where we have more faces and edges to work with. So we'll just smooth it out. So we'll give that one more shot, but I think that tells you what you need to know for using Quick Rig. All right, we're going to give this one more go. I'm going to clean this model up just a little bit and start moving some of those vertices and edges around like we talked about. I do want to smooth this, so I don't want all these extra faces on the face, as it were. Convert that. Nope. Command and click faces. There we go. Delete. Okay, we wanted to bring the knees forward. Just so that auto rig knows that those are indeed knees. And maybe if we flatten the feet, it'll get a better clue as to where those are at. Maybe slide the elbows back. A little more definition to the shoulder. And I undid what I wanted to do. It looks like he's might a little bit raw, ready for a skeleton. Alright, let me try to smooth him over. Looks less and less like a gingerbread cookie. I'm going to undo that. Whoa, what just happened? There, give him a little bit of a bevel on the face. And we'll try this again. Gotta get into object mode first. There, not nearly as bad. I'm going to delete the history again, and we'll see if this does it. So jump over to rigging, quick rig. Save it first, always. There we go. And fingers crossed. So as you can see, there's a little bit of setup for AutoRig to do what it needs to do, but it's still a whole lot better, and faster at least, than doing all this manually. All right, let's test it out. I've got knee bends, he can jump. He can slap people. Lower his arms. See, there's a little bit of folding and tearing right there, but that's not too bad. And I think we can adjust that later if we were going to be serious about using this guy. All right, it's a nasty Lambert gray fellow, so we're going to do a UV unwrap and texture them all up and maybe do something cool with them. Anyway, that's AutoRig. It's not perfect, but it's a great fast tool for getting characters moving around. Just return to pose here. Oops. No body part selected. Okay. Give me all those. Return to a T-pose. And we'll do a quick UV unwrap, and then we'll imagine what textures we might use later. So I'm just going to open up the UV editor. Automatic unwrap. And you can see we have the front and the back and the faces and just all kinds of other mess. But it did unfold it for us, and we can do some cool stuff. Yeah, so finally, I like PNG. Everything seems to work there. We name our UV output. And here you can see it did save our file. So now we have a fully modeled, rigged, skinned, and unwrapped character.